I think it's hilarious when you see games you've never heard of before on the original PlayStation, and turns out, guess what? This is actually a sequel to a whole different game. Skull Monkeys is a game that I've played a little bit of, and I've seen gameplay of it, and it definitely looks kind of fun and up my alley because I love platformers. But all to know, this is the second game of a series, the first game being called The Neverhood. The Neverhood is a point-and-click game that came out in 1996, only for PC. It was a sleeper hit and definitely has a cult following to this day. This game did get on the original PlayStation back in 1998, but not in America, only in Japan. How the hell does that make any sense? A game made in America, but we didn't even get it ported in our region, only in Japan? They were definitely smoking something with that decision. Nonetheless, I've been wanting to check this game out ever since I've seen it a couple years ago. I finally got the chance to play through this entire game on the PS1 by other means, and I've got things I want to talk about. Kick back, get you a cold beer, get you some Coke Zero, and let's talk about The Neverhood for the original PlayStation. The Neverhood came out on the PS1 in 1998, only in Japan. Originally developed by the Neverhood Inc., published by DreamWorks Interactive, it was all done by Riverhill Soft on the PS1. Riverhill Soft is not known for a whole lot of stuff that we know, but they did make those games on the PS1 called Overblood, which are action-adventure horror games. The Neverhood was created by the mind of Doug TenNapel, and he came from Shiny Entertainment and was the creator of Earthworm Jim, which makes a whole lot of sense. He left Shiny Entertainment in '95 to create his own thing, so that's how the Neverhood was born. Fun fact too is all of it is in stop motion, and they used a ton of clay to make all the models, so that's why the game looks the way it does. I normally cover the plot of almost every game that I review, but this game I will not do that because that's one of the fun parts about this game. The main character of this game, as well as Skull Monkeys, is Clayman. You get a letter from this guy named Clog, and he's in his castle, and he wants you to come to him to show you something. You don't really know what's going on because you wake up in a nursery, but you end up finding these discs throughout the game, and when you find them, you can go to some of these machines and pop them in, and it'll tell you the whole story. It's kind of encouraging to do that because then you can understand exactly what the whole plot is.
These discs are all that are left of the true story.
The Neverhood is a point-and-click adventure game all the way, and very popular around this time period, especially for PC games. The controls are very simple if you're using a digital controller. You can move the cursor with the D-pad, circle is your accept button, and X is to cancel. Holding X while using the cursor, you can move it a little faster if you want to, and then triangle will go to your save menu. You can save at any point in the game. This game's also compatible with the PlayStation mouse, so if you want to use that, you can here. After you start out and you kind of explore the nursery, you gotta find a way out, and of course there's puzzles all in the game. Your goal really is to find those discs like I mentioned earlier. Just kind of look around, and you're kind of in a little neighborhood when you start out, and you just kind of have to get through this gate with these different light bulb things, red, blue, and orange. You just have to use your thinking cap when you play this game, going around, clicking on everything, and figuring out how to solve it. There's truly not many collectibles in this game other than the discs. Sometimes you'll find keys to certain things. You can activate mechanisms sometimes, like levers on the walls or pushing buttons to activate certain things. You could use a lever to cut all the lights off, and you can see these cool symbols on the wall, and you're like, what the hell is this all about? Or pressing a button to close this door, and then it actually activates a ladder in a whole nother building. Who would have guessed that? You've got the side-scrolling sections where you're pointing and clicking around, and then you also got the FPS mode where you're looking ahead. You can use this in the overworld where you can go straight ahead to another building, you can turn around. You'll be doing that often. The whole game is connected, so you'll be backtracking to some places you've been to before because of things you couldn't access. A couple examples of things like that are this puzzle here. It looks like a bunch of different little puzzle pieces. They're all connected somehow because they have symbols that attach. You just gotta match the symbols with what you see in the picture. Once you do connect it all, you can adjust the bridge you cross, and you can make it a staircase to go lower into a hole. Another example is this giant cannon here. It does multiple things, but you can just hit a button and it'll blow up this whole wall and all the water will drain out. And that's actually how you get down to the hole with the bridge. It's very unique and interesting how all the things in this game kind of work with each other at some point. Because a side note, if you ever play this game, I highly encourage getting a pencil and paper or using your phone to track stuff down like symbols. No combat in this game. Your challenge is purely all of the puzzles. I'll be honest with you guys, if you don't use a guide with games like this, you are going to be thinking and head scratching a lot because there's some puzzles that are freaking hard to solve. It's just a game where you really have to pay attention to everything you see on the screen. And with a game that came out in 96 with the resolution looking a little low for a PS1 game, it can be hard to tell sometimes what's what. I'll go over a few puzzles without telling you the solution that you do encounter in the game. A notable one here is there's a house that you can't enter and you got to match what the music cups are to the cups with no water. Well, you have to drink some water by activating some switch, and you drink it and you spit into these cups. You got to make sure you spit into these cups properly though to get the proper pitch to match what the pitches are to enter the house. Can feel cryptic at first, but you kind of start to get the gist though when you start doing it. There's a few car wall riding sections in the game. Yeah, car wall riding. And you get to find this radio that's playing some music, and you'll need to keep that in mind later because it's going to sound familiar. There's a window with these test tubes you see with some different colored stuff like green, red, and blue. You got to use that for a puzzle later down the road. The last example I'll give is this cryptic ass code puzzle here. So there's a bunch of symbols here, and you're like, what the hell do these symbols mean? Well, it doesn't really matter what they mean. You see them at certain parts of the game. You got to keep track of these things because you need to use these whenever you get to this part. It probably took a good 30 minutes to an hour to figure out this puzzle on my own, but once you figure it out, and that's how all these puzzles are, you are like, ah, I get it. A couple notable things to mention about the game too. Obviously, the art direction, it is so freaking goofy and weird. It's so mid-90s and I love it. You've got these weird creatures in the game. You know, like this crab thing here you have to go up against, and it's a funny cutscene with a lot of slapstick going on. And then you have this robot here that you have to use the cannon and shoot at him, and then you have this huge fight going on for like 5 minutes. That's hilarious. You could just tell that the guy who did Earthworm Jim did this. It's got that weirdness but goofiness at the same time. Also, the music in this game, it is freaking hilarious. I don't even know how to define it. It's like acoustic, kind of like, not country, but it's just some guy, like, he's just whistling away like, take a listen for yourself.
Potatoes love, my gravy love. Potatoes love, my gravy love. Potatoes love, my gravy. Percolating, piping hot steam, elixir of the morning.
I don't know why, but I could definitely see the band Primus in this game making some music. I don't know, it just seems like a Primus music video all the way. Nonetheless though, the music is very catchy. The Neverhood on PS1 is definitely a great time. I had a lot of fun playing this one. It's got some really good gameplay, it's got some fun puzzles to solve, and they're challenging too, and kind of satisfying when you solve them. The selling point for this game though is definitely the atmosphere and vibe this game has. It's got unique claymation and a lot of cutscenes in the game. It's very goofy and funny with its slapstick. Truly a memorable game. Little things too, like this drain, it says, "Do not jump down," and if you do it, well, the credits roll. That's hilarious. My only real setbacks with this game, I guess, are for the PS1 port, is sometimes when you click around when you're trying to walk off screen to the next area, it doesn't register in some areas. Not terrible or anything, but it happened a couple times. And I'm not going to deny it because I'm a PS1 enthusiast. The PC version is definitely the best way to experience this game. The PC version has better loading times, the audio quality is slightly better, and the Hall of Lore is complete. It is completely absent in the PS1 version. Don't get it twisted, the PS1 version is perfectly fine. I had a great time playing it, but for first-time players, if you want to play this game and you don't want to go through the hoops and hurdles of playing the PS1 Japanese version, PC version might be your way to go. The game is pretty cheap overseas in Japan though. It's about 20 to 30 bucks, usually listed for that price on eBay and such. If you're looking for a point-and-click adventure game that you've never played from the 90s, this one is a freaking must-play. PC version or PS1 version, which I do approve is a good version to play. That's all I've got to say about this game. I'm going to go grab my acoustic guitar and go to the town square near me and start playing and talking about some vegetables and peas and such. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have anything to say, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you got to say about the Neverhood, games like this, or really what's just the weather like. Until next time, y'all take it easy.